Welcome back to the Goal for 10 show. For all the new listeners from Australia, Papua New Guinea, Fiji, thank you for joining us. From New Zealand, thank you for joining us. We hope you like what you hear. Please hit subscribe. Please hit like. Baxter, it's your team. It's the Cowboys. They're taking on Penrith. Means very little for Penrith, and obviously we'll see that when we go through the team list. Could mean, mathematically, this could mean a top 2 spot. It could mean a home final for you if the Sharks do drop points, but I'll pop it up. Obviously, I have been saying the home teams for these reviews, but out of respect, I'll let you say your team. The Cowboys team list is there. Take it away.
All right, so we got the legend Scotty Drinkwater at the fullback position. You got Kyle Felt, the 2015 Grand Final specialist, and Murray Talangai on the wings. You got Peter Iku and Valentine Holmes, the $1 million man in the centres. You got a bit of a change here. You got the Hammer and Chad Townsend in the halves. You got Jordan McLean and Ruben Cotter as your forwards. You got Reeves Robson into your hooker. You got Luciano Leilua, the man from the Tigers, the man we've stolen. He pairs up with Jeremiah Nanai into the second row position, and you got the big wrecking ball, the big JT. No, I'm not talking about Jonathan Thurston. I'm talking about James Taumalolo. He's in the 13 role. You got Jake Granville, Tom Gilbert, Jeremiah Tiano Brown, and you got Jafe Namey into the bench position, and you got Brandon Elliott to be your 18th spot. Now, this is a great side. It is my boys. I don't care who we verse. I don't care if it's a New South Wales squad. I don't care about the other team because they could chuck out their reserves team. It doesn't matter because the scoreline won't change. You're going to put a big 5, you're going to put a big O, you're going to put a big dash, you're going to put a big 0. That's the scoreline. It's going to be that way. I'm not talking bias. That's it. Boom. We're going to use. Hey, you talk about Parramatta putting 50 points on. All the teams that have won a grand final can score 50 points. Boom. This is the game we do it. We put our names in that ring. We take home the shield at the end of the season. Let's do it. Let's just skip to the other game. Let's just stop.
Well, we're not going to skip to the other game, but obviously before I do pop, obviously the Penrith side up there is a lot of changes. Cleary has gone in and said I am going to rest players. Now, before we touch on Penrith, obviously, I will bring it up. Obviously, the funeral was today. It was Paul Green's funeral. It was a touching moment. We saw his wife speak. We saw his kids speak. So, guys, if you are struggling, if you have anything, please reach out. It's not a scary thing to ask. Sorry, it is a scary thing to ask if you're okay, but it's not a weak thing. Speak up, check on your mates, check on your friends, make sure everyone's doing all right. And if you do have any issues, please speak up. But Baxter, we'll move obviously on to this and we'll see why I've used this guy obviously in the next fin. It is my mate. It is Lindsay. He is getting his first NRL start. The team list for Penrith. Now, when I finish this team list, I want to get your unbiased opinion on a question, but I'll go through the team list first. It's number 1, Charlie Staines. Number 2, Suni Taruva. Number 3, Robert Jennings. Number 4, Thomas Jenkins. Number 5, Christian Crichton. Number 6, Kurt Fours. Number 7, Sean O'Sullivan. Number 8, my boy Larry Bird. Lindsay Smith making his NRL debut start. Obviously not his debut. He's played a few games, but he's his first start. 9, Mitch Kenny. 10, Matthew Eisenhuth. 11, Chris Smith. 12, Scott Sorensen. 13, Jermaine Hopgood. 14, Sonny Luke. 15, Eddie Blacker. 16, Liam Henry. 17, Jack Cole. And 18, obviously, 18th man is Maverick Geyer. Now, guys, if you want to have a little punt, Lindsay's paying $10 to score anytime. He's paying $71 to score first. So, listen, if you could just let him score first and win 50-6, we'll call it even. You can have whatever result you want. But at this team list now, we do know they've rested a lot of stars. They've rested almost their whole squad. The scary thing is, and I want to get your opinion on this, I think if you look at the Titans, the Tigers, Newcastle at the extent they're at the moment with no Kalen Ponga, I think this side beats them. And that's scary to think that they've rested that many players. And this is a side that still has Staines, still has O'Sullivan, still has Mitch Kenny, still has Eisenhuth, still has Scott Sorensen. Like, it's a decent side that you think majority are playing in New South Wales Cup each week.
I think the NRL should just put on an end of year thing where they bring all these bottom, like all those teams, and they bring out this squad, this 1-18 squad, and they go, right, the NRL goes, right, if you could beat this side, each player that wins gets $1 million. I bet you NRL ain't paying a single cent because this squad is too good on paper against those boys, against those teams. Against the Cowboys team, if you just go one click back, just go one click back for me, Tony. Come on.
Right, you can have your squad.
Oh, look at it. Look at it. This team right here on screen, people. This team is going to whoop them 50-0. Don't even, sorry, you mate.
No, come on. Give him the first try.
No, he ain't getting a single try. No, sorry, mate. If you want your try, you better score against the Roosters because that's where it's going to happen.
just like you didn't score many points against the Roosters when we played at the SCG, but obviously
That's okay.
Obviously, they've come out with a weak squad. It was said all week they were going to bring out a weak squad. Once again, I'll pop it up on the screen. I need to ask you, if you are Mr. Klopp, Todd Payton, and you are obviously knowing that they're going to bring out a weakened lineup, not do you regret playing almost a full-strength lineup, but let's just say hypothetically you lose 2 or 3 of your stars to season-ending injuries in this game. Do you sit back and go, fuck, I really didn't need to play in this game?
Well, the thing for us is if we win, we get second for the moment. And that's all we can do.
Mate, the Sharks are playing Newcastle. They're not losing to Newcastle.
You're playing Newcastle in Newcastle. And the past few weeks, they've been looking pretty good. Now, for and against, it doesn't even come close. For the Sharks. So really, this is just a points only. We need to win. We get second. And then it's all watching the Newcastle, the second last game, I think it is, up there at the McDonald Jones Stadium, where with the Knights, taking on the Sharks there. And then virtually this is all we have to do. We can't just go out there with a depleted squad like Penrith did. If I'll put the shoe on the other foot, if we had secured second and this game meant nothing to us, yes, we would have rested players. But I think the chance of hosting a home semi-final instead of traveling to Shark Park, where they are a fortress, where the stadium and the fans really get a bit of a wind up them, and they really turn it up. It's a chance you got to take. It's a chance you got to take. Let me put it on to you this way. Let's just say the Roosters are in the same position, and you need to win to get second for a home semi-final. Otherwise, you play, let's say you play in Melbourne, right? Let's just say you play in Melbourne. What would you rather play Melbourne in Melbourne or play Melbourne at your new stadium or wherever you want to play? What would you rather?
I think I'm weighing up my options. If I'm looking at this and saying the Sharks are playing Newcastle, arguably they're going to win. So I wouldn't say rest the players completely, but I'd look at, for example, maybe rest. We're talking about the Roosters. Maybe resting a James Tedesco, putting Manu at fullback. Maybe resting a Hargraves because we're in the finals. We don't want him suspended. Rest the Hargraves. Let one of these up-and-comings play. You've got the talent. You've got the depth. They might not be as good as your starting lineup, but Griffin Neem's back. He can fill a spot. Jermaine Tanua-Brown, he can fill a spot. I'm just looking at this and going, if you had to give a percentage right now, how confident are you that the Knights knock out the Sharks? Be honest, how confident are you if you had to give a percentage?
I give it about 30, just the way they've been playing towards the back end of the season and it being their final home game for this season. And with what,
so 30%,
with what's going on, I believe they have a 30% chance of winning. Not even what the Sharks had named. Even if they named a completely New South Wales Cup side, I still give Knights a 30% chance just based on what they've got. Like they've got the home, they've got the fans, they've got the stadium. It's the last game of the season. They don't want to go down on a low. They need a win to get their spirits up. So that's what I think it is. But it could have come out today that we named a completed a really a weakened side, and so did Sharks. And then we go, fuck, we should have just played our normal 17. So it's a flick of the coin. Obviously, the Sharks have named a good side, so it's just all we have to do is win, and then it's out of our hands. We can do nothing more. We can do nothing less. We just have to sit back and watch 2 p.m. On Sunday on Father's Day.
Well, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. And obviously, Baxter, you are a father, so happy Father's Day in advance before we do get onto that. I just think a 30% chance. I'm giving them less than that. I'm giving them like a 10% chance they beat Newcastle, they beat the Sharks in Newcastle. I just think if you were to lose one of your key stars, if you were to lose a Chad Townsend here or a Tamalalo gets suspended here, based off a small chance, I think Todd Payton's going to sit there and go, what the fuck did I play him for? So it is an interesting one. Again, just quickly, the Panthers squad, it's weak. The Cowboys squad, it's very strong. Cowboys, how much?
50.
You really think you're going to put 50 points on this side?
Yep, we're going to do 50. We're at home. We got nothing to lose. So let's just go out there and pump them 50-0.
All right. What if I told you for every point you are off, you have to give me $20? What's your realistic score?
Well, now we're talking money. Now I just look at the the proper ladder here. So even if we do lose, let's just say Storm win by a point and we lose, we will drop to 4th and play Panthers week 1. So,
mate, you told me a couple of weeks ago you prefer to play Penrith. You said you reckon you can get Penrith.
I'm worried. One day I wake up, I go to bed and go, no, we can beat Penrith. And then the next day I go to bed and go, no, we can't beat Penrith. Penrith is just Penrith are just this squad that just seem to, when their back's against the wall, some players in the Penrith squad just seem to know when the back's against the wall and they look at the scoreboard and go, damn, we got 20 minutes to go and we're down by 6. They know how to they turn that around and be up by 20. So I am a bit worried, but if you look at it, as I said, if Storm win by a point, they jump to 3rd, we lose, we jump to 4th, we will automatically lose to 4th. That's it. The best place we can finish is 2nd. The worst case scenario, we play 4th. So we're either first in the Sharks or the Panthers. Who do we pick? We'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, listen, you've gone 50 plus. We'll give you that one for now. I'm going to lock in Penrith to lose by only about 15. I'm not picking Penrith to win the game. Sorry, Lindsay, mate.
By how much? How much?
I'm going Penrith to lose by less than 16 points. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think.
So 1 to 15, you reckon? Okay.
1 to 15. I'm going to go 1 to 15 purely because it is a weak squad. But Baxter, obviously, by this stage, we will know who's first, arguably who is in that top 4 in 4th. We'll know if you're 2nd or 3rd, and we'll move into obviously the next game, and that game will decide obviously the top 4. But thank you for joining me again, Lindsay. Congrats on your first start, and obviously we'll be back for the Knights taking on the Sharks.